Hey guys, welcome back to Scream Theory. I have an actual name for the channel now, so that's fun. When I made the last video about Scream 6, I also had another video in the bank, which I actually filmed first, but I'll keep it to myself for now as I'm still not sure whether or not I'm going to release it, but I still hadn't actually made my channel yet, and I wasn't even sure if I was going to upload the videos because, you know, it was just something fun to do, but it was fun, and some exciting things have happened over the past couple of weeks. The main one being our topic of today's video, which you will already know from the title. And I thought, let's just fucking get into it. Jordan Peele has announced a teeny tiny bit of information for his next film. Apologies in advance that this video is a bit late, but we just came off a long weekend, so catching up on work has been crazy, and I went away with the fam. It's also not going to be a super long video because we are very early on in development for this film, and we have literally zero info on anything past the release date, really. Hence the whole fan theories part of the title. I might be jumping the gun on making a video, but it seemed fun. And anyways, enough with the T's and C's. Let's dive into the video. So let's start with what we know, which, as I mentioned, really isn't much. The big news we had a couple of weeks back, again, apologies, this video is late. If I had it my way, this would have been out the day after the announcement, but procrastination, workload, timing, it all comes into it. The info we got is that Jordan Peele's fourth film is going to be releasing Christmas Day 2024. For those who are living under a rock, Jordan Peele is the 21st century's horror king, having created one of the best films, let alone horror films, of the century, Get Out, as well as the truly terrifying Us, and one of my fave recent sci-fis, Nope. Peele is known for spotlighting issues within the African-American community through his films, and I'm sure we can expect nothing less from his next venture. It's probably going to be really put a mirror to us. Peele is also set to produce the remake of Wes Craven's horror comedy The People Under the Stairs with Win Rosenfeld, although that film doesn't have a date attached to it, so I'm 99% sure it's not going to be the Christmas 2024 release. Peele's production company, Monkey Paw, has just struck a deal with Universal Pictures, so we can be sure that the film is going to be distributed through Universal Pictures, at least. Monkey Paw currently has two films set to be released in 2024. One is this film coming Christmas Day, and the other is set to come September 2024. There are another 4 films in development on the Monkey Paw's Wikipedia page, which is the previously aforementioned People Under the Stairs. Then we have a film titled Goat, which Deadline reports will center on a young athlete who is invited to train with the team's retired star. Sinkhole is the next one, which has potentially the most hype attached, as it is set to start the very in-demand Issa Rae and is about a young family that moves into their dream home despite the gaping sinkhole in the backyard. The mysterious sinkhole manages to fix broken and destroyed things, but what if that thing is a person? It sounds like very abstract. Like, I remember watching The Boy, what was it? The one in the forest where there were changelings and shit, but look, sinkholes are fucking creepy. But I don't even know if it's a horror. Anyway, finally, the only true blue confirmed horror film we have is Suicide by Sunlight, which will be an adaptation of Nikyatu Jusu's short film of the same name, which premiered at the Sundance Film Festival in 2019. The film is about daywalking black vampires who are protected by the sun through their melanin. Jusu has also been tapped to helm the new Night of the Living Dead film, so I'm very excited to see more from her, more female horror directors, more female women of color directors. Good films. In regards to plot, we know that Peele remains interested in telling original social thrillers, and that he's stated that the tone of his next movie will be, quote, a little bit of horror and a little bit of comedy, which are like my favorites. So Mint, end quote, according to an interview he did with Deadline. Completely irrelevant, but I guess kind of interesting, is that Universal has pushed forward their highly anticipated Wicked film adaptation starring Ariana Grande forward to Thanksgiving to avoid a clash, and Peele's project will premiere 1 week after Avatar 3 and Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Sonic the Hedgehog. Big contender. Surprisingly good film, the first one. So here are some theories to base off of what we know, and some of these are a lot more far-fetched than others. We're having fun, so why not get a little bit silly? They're theories, they're fun. The first theory I've seen floating around is that Peele's next film will be a sequel to Get Out. Peele has remained quite open to the idea of revisiting the world of Get Out and continuing the story, as he feels that there is more that can be done and more that can be dove into. But I find this highly unlikely. One, I don't understand what the connection to Christmas would be. And two, I feel like it's almost too soon for him to start doing sequels to projects. I can imagine him doing something closer to like a spiritual sequel than an actual on-paper sequel in a couple of years, but you know, Jordan Peele's allowed to do whatever he wants. That's just my opinion. I can't imagine him just doing like Get Out 2, you know? Another theory, which has some pretty strong backing due to the release date, is that the plot of the film is going to be somehow Christmas related. With it coming out Christmas Day, I can easily see Peele creating a truly horrifying painting of consumerism in modern day America, told through an abstract story of some sort. It would be pretty epic, in my opinion, as an anarchist. This kind of ties into my next theory, which isn't so much of a theory as it is a fact. Every one of Peele's films to date have focused on some form of social issue, as many horror films tend to do. One of the best things about Peele's filmmaking, is that he can do this without it coming across as preachy or kitschy. I can say with almost 100% certainty that his next film will examine the depravity and darkness of humanity in some form or another. I'm leaning towards consumerism or capitalism, but who knows? Peele himself has said, quote, "I don't know what's next. There are a few ideas percolating. I need to kind of sink into the world a bit and allow the world to sort of tell me which one is the next one." So that's what my next couple of months will be. Sitting, watching, waiting, looking at my coffee. If you watch good films, you'll get inspired, even if it has nothing to do with anything you want to do. That will work for me. Sometimes the inspiration comes instantly, and sometimes it comes in a long time. I do need to do some watching and listening. Can't just always be expressing yourself. You've got to listen, end quote. With that being said, we can probably look at some of the events going on in the world in the past year, whether it's Russia invading Ukraine, COVID, the continuation of the Black Lives Matter movement, gun violence, etc., and hone in on at least 20 things that could be turned into brilliant films by Peele. But really, we realistically aren't going to know any more information for at least a couple of months. Peele is notoriously cagey about info on his films ahead of release, so whatever we do find out will be drip-fed, and we'll have to scramble to catch them. As I mentioned, we aren't going to find an answer today, and again, I apologize for this video being rather short, but I thought it would be fun for us to dive into some theories after the exciting news. My next video is going to be a longer one for you. We are going to be doing a director deep dive into Ari Aster himself ahead of the release of Beau is Afraid, one of the most highly anticipated horror adjacent, which is what I always call his movies. Hereditary was fucking scary, but they're always horror adjacent films of the year. I want to do this one justice, so bear with me if it comes a little late, but I'm excited for us to dive into his weird and wonderful mind. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're into what I'm doing here, feel free to click the subscribe button. I will see you next time back here on Scream Theory. Look at that official branding. Who is she?